Okay, so if you're building a brand online, let's be real, you're playing a pretty dangerous game. We all chase that massive reach on social media, right? But in doing that, we're basically handing over the keys to our entire kingdom. Today, we're going to dive into a way to take that control back, a real revolution in who owns what online.
So let's just cut right to it with the most important question of all. Who really owns your followers? You might think you do. I mean, you put in the work, but the hard truth is, your access to that audience you've spent months, maybe years building, it's completely in the hands of someone else's platform.
And that situation leads us straight into what we have to call the social media trap. It's this classic double-edged sword, you know? You get this incredible, massive reach, but the platform holds all the power. Let's break down what that actually looks like.
Okay, so just look at the trade-offs here. With Meta, you've got a user base that's just massive, but you're totally at the mercy of their pay-to-play algorithm. X is awesome for real-time buzz, but its policies can change on a whim. And LinkedIn, it's the king of B2B, but it comes with sky-high ad costs and a really rigid format. You starting to see the pattern here? This whole pattern, it forces us to ask a really powerful and frankly kind of uncomfortable question. Are you a digital sharecropper? Now, this idea really gets to the very heart of the problem that every single creator and business is facing on these platforms.
So what is a digital sharecropper? Well, it's pretty much anyone who builds their entire thing, their business, their community, you name it, on digital land that they're just renting. You're pouring all this time and energy into an audience on a platform you don't own, you don't control, and whose rules can just change overnight, potentially leaving you with absolutely nothing.
And yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly illustrates the risk. When you build on rented land, the landlord, in this case the platform, can raise the rent, they can change the rules, or they can just plain evict you with no warning. You have zero true ownership over all the value created.
But okay, enough with the doom and gloom, right? Because there is another way. And this is where the Web4 revolution comes into play. We're talking about a fundamental shift here, moving away from being totally dependent and towards this new idea, digital sovereignty.
I love this. The source material uses this fantastic German expression, the yellow of the egg. And what does that mean? Well, it just means the best part, the yolk. And it's a perfect way to describe the move to Web4. It's about getting to the good stuff, to the core value, the real prize, which is true ownership.
This slide just lays out the shift perfectly. On one side, you've got the old model of dependency. You're on rented land, the platform controls you, and your data belongs to somebody else. But then, on the other side, you've got digital sovereignty. It's your digital home, you control the platform, and this is huge, it's your data.
So this all sounds great, but what does it actually look like, in the real world? Let's break down the tangible, real-life benefits of this Web4 approach and see exactly how it solves all those problems we've been talking about.
First and foremost, the big one, total ownership. With the Web4 community, you are the operator. The data belongs to your organization, period. You're not sharing your valuable insights or revenue with some tech giant. You maintain complete and total control.
Now this is a total game changer. Web4 platforms are designed specifically to avoid those user profiling algorithms. And what that means is, when you post something, your community actually sees it. Your engagement is direct, it's authentic, and it's not being manipulated by some AI that only cares about the platform's bottom line.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the money. Web4 gives you monetization freedom. You can manage your revenue directly through things like subscriptions or exclusive features without some central middleman taking a huge cut. The value you create actually flows back to you.
And finally, trust. This is so important. Because Web4 is built on a decentralized model, users get to manage their own digital identities. This gives them a level of privacy and security that centralized platforms just can't match. And that's how you build a real foundation of trust with your community. Now, you're probably thinking this sounds incredibly complicated to build. But that's where something called SaaS, or Social Networks as a Service, comes in. Just think of it like Shopify, but for social networks. It's the technology that makes launching your own platform actually accessible to everyone.
And I'm not kidding, this isn't some far-off dream. You can customize your brand, set your own rules, and launch your entire community in as little as 30 seconds. We're talking about a super quick, accessible setup, not some massive year-long tech project.
So the crucial point here is that this isn't just about a new tool. It's about a long-term strategy.
Building on Web4 is about creating a permanent digital home that actually future-proofs your brand against the whims and bad decisions of other platforms.
And look, if you take only one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this distinction right here. Mainstream platforms are a place to find an audience. Web4 is the place where you get to own your audience. They serve two different but equally vital purposes.
And this brings us to a really clear and powerful call to action. Stop renting your influence and start building your own digital home. I mean, that's a direct challenge for all of us to rethink our entire online strategy from the ground up.
And so that leaves us with one final provocative question for you to really think about. After everything we've just looked at, the risks of dependency, the power of real ownership, are you still comfortable just renting your influence?